And I think it's a reflection of the fact that there is a lot of talent in the Conservative Party that needs to be tapped into. I think we need to promote capability over loyalty as such. And also the fact that we're discussing about it first before turning to Ukraine shows how it continues to distract us from the big issues of the day. We're clearly waiting for the Sue Gray report to land, and I think many MPs will make their judgments once that happens.
In terms of dealing with the Ukraine situation, what do you make of the idea that the UK reaffirming these US-Anglo relations when it comes to dealing with Russia could actually cause further divisions and splits within the EU, or at least the UK's relationship with the EU?
Well, you touch on something that's so important here, which is the division across Europe, which is being exposed and taken advantage of by President Putin. I'm pleased to see Britain and the United States now stepping forward, helping to put sanctions together, moving troops, ships and planes to neighboring NATO countries, even offering to visit Moscow for meetings. But these are all tactical responses without an overall strategy. And this will not deter Putin's behavior. Moving our tanks not into Ukraine, but a full country away will not stop an invasion. And agreeing to formally meet Putin, well, that actually just feeds into his ego. He wants to be able to be taken seriously and treated like a superpower again. And imposing Western sanctions, well, I'm afraid this actually falls into his strategy. He wants to take Russia from looking west and being involved and reliant on the West to actually turn towards China. That is, I believe, where he wants to take his country and his people. Us placing sanctions actually then provides the ammunition he requires to actually convince his people, look, we're better aligned with China. We need to wake up to where things are actually going. Oil and gas prices will rise immensely if there is an invasion, as will food prices, because, of course, Ukraine provides 1/3 of the world's grain. But we're in denial about this bigger picture. It would make much more sense for us to stand up and look him in the eyes and actually place our NATO capabilities in Ukraine itself. That's what will deter Putin.
Sir, it sounds as though Boris Johnson, the Prime Minister, is trying to certainly raise the alarm bells and ramp up the rhetoric against President Putin. But I wonder how much influence the UK actually has on the geopolitical world stage at this point.
Well, I'm afraid, I'm half American. I want America to step up. The West looks to America for leadership. But the idea that you then announce what you're not going to do, that's not the way you deal with an adversary. Saying we will not use NATO forces to stand up to Russia just gives Russia the green light to advance its troops into Ukraine, furthering its own agenda. It cares less about whether there's going to be any sanctions, as I've explained. And if America steps back, then it's absolutely up to Britain to step forward and rally troops. I get the impression, though, that the penny is dropping, that people are gaining greater understanding of the wider consequences. This is a totemic moment as to how we handle this international exchange. This is, if you like, our Cuban Missile Crisis, and we mustn't blink.